On June 30th, 2026, the Warri-South Legislative Council stepped first debate by adopting a resolution stating that there are no historic Ijaw communities in the Warri-South local government area. Today, I am speaking with Majority Leader of the House, Honorable Warri Edugbe, who sponsored that motion, to understand the basis of that resolution and also to examine the legal and historic arguments behind it and what it means for the ongoing INEC delineation controversy.
Thank you very much, Honorable Edugbe, for granting this interview. The House adopted a resolution stating that there are no historic Ijaw communities in Warri-South local government area. You had sponsored that motion. I'd like to know what informed your decision to bring before the House that motion.
Okay, on that very day, we received a petition from a group of protesters under the auspices of concerned Ishekiri and Urobo indigents in Warri-South local government who were in our plenary when they stormed the council secretariat demanding to speak with the leadership of the House. We came out to address them and they handed over a petition to us demanding we take our stand and clear the air on who are the aborigines of Warri-South local government. I think we promised them that we were going to handle the issue immediately, and we collected about 6 representatives, three from each divide, to come and witness what we were about to do in the House. After a series of deliberations, we had to go to our books, check our schedule or gazette of communities in Warri-South local government, and we discovered that there is no Aboriginal Ijaw community in Warri-South local government. Aside knowing this fact for a very long time, we will have to still check documents to be double sure. We checked our schedule, the council schedule of communities in Warri-South, and we saw that there was no Aboriginal Ijaw community in Warri-South. That was what actually informed the motion that I moved in the House for the House to take a resolution that there are no Aboriginal Ijaw community in Warri-South. That is not to say there are no Ijaw settlers in Warri-South. We have Ijaw settlers in Warri-South, but they don't have a community in Warri-South local government.
Okay, so indeed the House resolved that there are no historic Ijaw communities in Warri-South local government, but indeed there are Ijaws residents in Warri-South local government area. Some Obijo youths had protested the resolution, insisting that the House lacks the constitutional authority to determine the indigenous status of any ethnic group in Warri-South local government area. How does the House distinguish between an ethnic group residing in an area and a community being officially recognized as indigenous?
Okay, in Warri-South local government council, we have, like I said before now, we have a schedule of all communities in Warri-South, because if anyone approaches the council and said he wants to obtain certificate of origin of Warri-South local government, it is the responsibility of the councillors in Warri-South to identify that individual, because you must be from one of the wards being represented by the councillors, because we have 20 councillors in Warri-South legislative arm, 8 for the Urobos and 12 for the Ishekiri. So these 20 councillors covers the whole of the communities in Warri-South. So if as a councillor, for instance, the councillor representing the group of Ajamuga, the communities under me, I should be able to identify the people and sign for them, because your local government of origin certificate carries the community that you hail from in Warri-South. You can't just come to Warri-South and say you want to obtain a local government of origin without coming from one of the communities in Warri-South. So we looked at the list of communities that we know that the council recognizes or we have in Warri-South, and none of these these alien names that they are mentioning are found in the Gazette. None of them are even in our schedule. So that was why we had to, because the identification of indigents of Warri-South, I believe the sole responsibility lies in the hands of the council, because we are the grassroots representative. If I cannot identify you as a grassroots representative of your community or your ward, that means I don't even merit the office. So it is our responsibility to say who is from here, who is from here. If not, they wouldn't have been coming to us in the local government administration for certificate of origin.
All right, so there have been certain claims about a certain 1955 Western Region Law, 1957 traditional rulers and chief edicts, by some Ogbijo youths. During the debate in the House, Honorable Loki Ebiri referred to a certain document, which I'm not sure if it was the Western Region law document that he referred to, because he was asked to prove, his claim that a councillor had once represented the GRA ward in Warri-South local government area, which you argued that the document related to a defunct Warri local government and therefore not applicable. So can you please explain to us why you believe it is not relevant in today's Warri-South local government? Okay,
I listened to the protest and the press conference that was organized by the people from Ogbijo. I laughed at them when I saw the press conference, making reference to 1956 or thereabout, or 1955. Then we had Warri local government. It has not been splitted to Warri-South, Warri-North, and Warri-Southwest. It was just one local government which encapsulates all these local governments in Warri now, the Warri-South, Warri-North, and Warri-Southwest. Then we have the Urobos, we have the Ijaws, we have the Shekiris, and all of that, making up Warri local governments as it were. So it got to a time, it was splitted into three. The three are Warri-South, Warri-North, and Warri-Southwest. In Warri-Southwest, the Aboriginal Ijaw communities, they are there, they are visibly there. In Warri-North, we also have them there. But in Warri-South, they are not here. We have the Urobos in the defunct Warri local government. Why are the Urobos not laying claim that they are part of Warri-North and part of Warri-Southwest? Simply because they were part of the defunct Warri local government. So you see that they don't even understand what they are agitating for. The era of Warri local government is long gone. Urobos has been splitted to only Warri-South, and they are narrowed to Warri-South alone in the three Warris. But the Ijaws, they have in the Warri-North and the Warri-Southwest. They don't have a place in Warri-South. I don't know why they are trying to, to fool all the, I think, the gullibles that they are part of Warri-South, making instances or citing a document of 1956 or 1955 when it was a Warri local government. So I see what they were doing as a pure display of ignorance.
All right, so the Shekiris and the Yoruba protesters, on that they had requested that the House publish the official schedule of communities. Will the House be taking on that request? And if so, when would that be published?
Oh, if you look at the resolution that was made that day, we said whoever that wants to see the schedule or gazette of the communities in Warri-South can as well visit the office of the clerk of the legislative arm during working hours from 9 to 3 o'clock. It is readily available with the clerk of the house. If you want to see it, you can visit the office and ask for it. You see it. But as for the resolution, I think it has been published in national dailies and it is there. We had 18 people voting in favor of the motion that there are no Ijaw indigenous communities in Warri-South. One saying that there is, but one was indifferent. You said, okay, there is an Ijaw community. You said an Ijaw man has represented GRA ward. The House even gave you opportunity to go and make your calls. Tell us the name of the Ijaw man that has represented a ward in the Warri-South local government, what year and what local government. You went out and you came back without any result. You could not even substantiate your claim. It amounts to not being able to prove what you are claiming. So it amounts to a null in its entirety.
Well, there have been claims that we've had an Ijaw supervisory councillor for agriculture.
That is appointment, not elective position. We've even had an Isoko lady as the vice president, the vice chairman of Warri-South local government. The person of Anne Eniovosa, I think she served with Dr. Michael Tidi in the just concluded dispensation. She's not from Warri-South. She's obviously from Isoko. but she was given that position. You can even represent, but that does not mean that you are an aborigine of that place. If you go to Lagos, you see even the Igbos are in their appointed position, even some elected in the different councils. So that is not, go to the UK, you see Nigerians in their parliament and all of that. That's not to say they own the UK. That's not to say they own the particular place they are representing. You can represent. We can be magnanimous enough to say, oh, come and fill this position if we know that you are capable. But that is not to say, come and take my place.
Okay, in your view, do you think this resolution carries any legal or administrative weight, or you think it's just the opinion of the House? Like, do you see it having any implication on government agencies like INEC, for instance?
It should, because if you are looking for, if you want to, maybe you need somebody to butcher a cow for you, you must go to the slaughter. If you want to know anything about the grassroots, you must go to the people that represent the grassroots. This is the third tier of government, the government at the grassroots. So if you want to identify communities in Warri-South, that particular data you are in need of, you can only get it efficiently from the council. Anything outside the council, you might end up having the wrong data. So I believe the council is in the right position to furnish you with whatever document that has to do with aborigines of a particular local government. Okay. So I think the resolution of the House has a locus. It has.
INEC has constantly defended its delineation exercise as being guided by constitutional provision and field verification. Do you think the Commission overlooked historical and administrative records relating to Warri-South local government?
On the issue of INEC, I think I would say it without prejudice that the report or the implementation of the delineation exercise that they are trying to do, I think they are not following historical guidelines and documentations that are readily available. What I see is a regulatory agency that has compromised already. Because you can't be telling me that in Warri GRA, for instance, that is less than the parts that you are carving out to create Enwe, Boloma, and Ogbijo Warri urban ward. It's less than 5 acres of land. If you go to the Ubejiazis, the Obodo, Omadino ward, we have 16 communities that are sitting on over 50 acres of land with sizable population. We have communities such as Wakeno, Ewekwara, Boshedua, Oreroluba, Ugbikoko, Obodo, Omadino, Ajosolo, Ifie, Ubeji, Egbokodo, Ajeta, Ikere, Utunwa, to mention but a few, lump sum to make up one word. And this place is, Ifie alone is an industrialized community. Ifie, I will say it over and over again that Ifie as a community is bigger and more populated than Ogbijo, Isaba, and Baramatu put together. Now you are telling me that these 16 communities, you are making it one word, but you are carving out 3 words from 5 acres of somebody else's community, Okere's community and Pesu community. You are carving out 3 words out of that, but you are not attending to the Obodo word, where you have, should I say, mini cities. Omadino is developed, Obodo is developed, Ubeji is developed, Bokodo, Ifiekporo is so developed. If the INEC want to be fair in the delineation exercise, only Obodo word alone is enough to carve out 7 words if they want to be fair. It is on this premise that I'm laying on to say that INEC has not been fair in this whole delineation exercise. I think somewhere along the line, they have compromised. I wonder what must have been, what must have exchanged hands that is making them not to stand on the path of integrity, fairness, equity, and truth. But I think in all this exercise, they've not been fair. That's why you are seeing all these agitations.
Okay, will the House be engaging, INEC going forward to see how they can make review to the board structure following the resolution on June 30th?
Yes, the resolution that we passed on June 30th in the Warri-South Legislative Arm, I think a copy of that resolution has been served on INEC, so they are aware. We are authority in Warri-South. So if there are anything you need to know in Warri-South, you should also consult us. So we have made our point clear to the world, and we have served INEC, duly served them, and I think we have the acknowledgement copy from them. But I still don't see them doing anything positive, because, like I said, something must have exchanged hands. I don't know why they are being so rigid and not towing the path of doing the right thing.
Okay, so since the resolution was adopted by the House, there's been increased debate around the INEC delineation exercise, and some observers fear that the debate around community recognition, for instance, what structure, may deepen tensions within the region. How do you respond to concerns that the June 30th resolution might be interpreted as excluding a section of residents of Warri-South local government area, rather than addressing questions around identity and history, which the House tilted towards, of course, looking at the resolution?
What I think is, if a section feels that they are left behind, they should know that they've never been in the scheme of things. Because I don't see where you claim to be a part of somewhere and you don't have a representative in that place. From the beginning of the administration of Warri-South local government, you don't have Ijaw ward, you don't have Ijaw councillor in Warri-South. So that goes a long way to show you that you have never been part of the aborigines of the place ab initio. You are just only trying to force yourself into the place with other people's land. Some years ago, I remember there was a judgment barring the people of Ogbijo from ever contesting land ownership in Warri-South. A court of competent jurisdiction have barred them already from contesting this, for crying out loud. No, okay, they went to court trying to force themselves into Warri-South. Court barred them. They could not come through that route anymore. Now they are trying to come through delineation exercise and thinking they can buy off INEC to do their bidding for them. So I don't think if I'm part of a place, I shouldn't have a representative there. The fact that you don't have a representative in Warri-South from the beginning of Warri-South till now, I think how many chairmen have served? Even in the Fourth Republic from 1999 to date, you know how many people have served in Warri-South? You have never come out to say, okay, this is my word, that is my word. You failed in court and now you are trying to use INEC to gain grounds in Warri-South. I think if they are respecting the Supreme Court judgment as to the redelineation of Warri Federal Constituency, they should be also be ready to respect the judgment that came from a competent court of jurisdiction that they don't have a place in Warri-South, and it actually barred them from ever contesting ownership of land in Warri-South. Why engaging in selective obedience of court judgment? You want to obey that of Supreme Court. You don't want to obey that of the Federal High Court.
Interesting. Okay, what's your final message? What's your final message to residents of Warri-South generally? My message to residents of Warri-South is that you people should remain calm. Just be calm. There's no problem. There's no cause for alarm. Warri-South is peaceful under our watch. We promise that it will remain peaceful. And I want to advise my brothers from the Ijaw extraction. Please, please, please allow Warri-South to breathe fresh air. Concentrate on the local government that you have. Ogbijo is the illegal headquarter of Warri-Southwest. The legal headquarter of Warri-Southwest local government is Ogidigbe. They came with violence and all that, okay, just to see how they can bring in
some form of peace. The then governor of Delta State, Chief James Onanefo Ibori, had to move the headquarters of Warri-South to Ogbijo. How can you explain Ogbijo spreading his two legs and being in two different local government? Ogbijo is the illegal headquarters of Warri-South, and you are telling us that Ogbijo is part of Warri-South. Please, I want to beg you people, allow Warri-South to have a breath of fresh air. Thank you.
Okay, quickly, talking about peace, do you see this issue being resolved through dialogue?
I believe it will be resolved through dialogue. Even in a place where you have crisis does not resolve any matter totally. You kill everybody, you will still get to a point where you have to come to a round table to sit down and dialogue. If you choose violence as your first option, you must still end up in round table to dialogue. So it's conflict, should I say crisis, is not the best solution to resolving this issue. I believe it will be resolved with dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Toyo Egbigbe. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.